And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Blockchain Talks. I'm your host, D3H from Gracious Interests, which is my brand. Today's episode, we are going to take a look at market updates, meaning, as you guys can see, I've got plenty of tabs open here. I'm going to slightly readjust my screen here. There we go. Plenty of tabs open, as you guys can see here. Those are important news items I'm going to discuss and highlight. Those are the most important top announcements currently going on in the current crypto market. Before I start, I'm going to do a little analysis of current market, meaning small technical analysis of current trends. As you guys can see, I've got TradingView open here. Currently, Bitcoin trading at 19,183, so it is below the 20K level. However, I'm going to start zooming in here. On the daily, we see we reached a low yesterday, earlier this morning at around 19K level, currently seeming back down here. I'm going to keep on using trend lines here. They make the trends such more clear. 5 days average. You guys can tell sideways trading more or less. There has been a major sell-off. We are curious what sparked this sell-off earlier yesterday. Back on the recovery. We came from a bottom of, I'm going to put in hello candles here. There we go. 18,000 from 18K. We're back up towards 19K. However, as you guys can tell here on the one-day trading range, let's zoom in a little bit. Major sell-off, major buy. Someone has been buying the dip tremendously as a major sell-off here. So I'm expecting some volume for some uptick here. Yeah, this is on daily chart. So yeah, something akin to it. I'm going to do it like that. Much better. So sideways trading, although we might say there is a little bearish trend going on, though I would say we are more or less trading sideways with a few dips here now. Major dip here, which occurred yesterday. Let's zoom out at the monthly, and you guys can tell, well, there was a higher level here, trading lower than a month ago. However, if you were to introduce a timeline, the average would be around here, 20K. That's our perceived value, I'm going to say, over the month. By reason, if you would calculate, most of the trades occurring would be above 20K levels. Anything underneath is actually a very good opportunity to start DCAing or dollar cost averaging, meaning it's a good time to buy in. As you guys can tell, since early this morning here on screen, I'm going to show it right here. So that's the line. Probably should be drawing it. That's the trend line. Anything beneath it is good DCA opportunity. So today it's a good DCA opportunity. To delete this one. There we go. Zoom out 3 months. And you guys can tell we're actually doing quite fine. August was perhaps a little bit overvaluated. We reached towards 25K, but went down again towards 19K. In my opinion, 20K is still a correct valuation for Bitcoin. Anything underneath is good buying opportunity. And this is a 6th month. And as you guys can tell, I'm going to actually start zooming out here. So what we're seeing here is the Terra Luna collapse, and that's the 3 Arrows Capital and Celsius Network illiquidity. And we have been trading sideways for quite a while. That's one of the reasons why I'm saying to always start zooming out. And I'm going to start zooming in here. As you guys can tell, so that's the collapse. There we go. Straight line. I had 20K here. Over to draw it. That's the line. So we had about, redraw it again. technical analysis getting longer with each episode, something I'm not really willing to do, but hey, anything for you guys. It's about here. It's not straight. But we had 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 buying opportunities underneath 20K. These are rare, these are tests, and I believe the absolute bottom here, which will be bought up, is at around 18K. We did a few tests at around 18K and 19K on beforehand, so I would say it's a good opportunity to buy in. Thus far, my technical analysis. So what's the giveaway? Bitcoin is doing fine-ish. However, now's a nice opportunity to DCA or dollar cost average in. Let's head over towards crypto market updates. This is news from today. WazirX follows in Binance footsteps, unlisting USDC, USDP, and TUSD. These are all stable coins. In case you've missed it in previous episodes, I did mention that Binance was delisting a variety of stable coins, probably sparked due to the Terra Luna collapse together with their USDT, or the Terra Luna stable coin pegged towards the US dollar. There's finally a fallout from the crisis which occurred in May. And not only is Binance nulling a lot of stablecoins and implementing their very own, the Binance USD, now other platforms are following in enlisting, well, plenty of stablecoins. And being said here, WazirX follows in Binance footsteps, enlisting USDC, USDP, and TUSD. USDC is a stable coin for the exchange Coinbase. It's getting delisted more and more. In news items I've covered on my social media, Coinbase is losing grounds, is losing market cap. This yet again is another blow. So it might be a case Coinbase going into 2023 won't be as big anymore as it used to be. Plenty of complaints from users, no real after service, etc., etc. And now these blows with USDC will probably put them in even more bad papers. And it's India's leading cryptocurrency exchange. India has quite a lot of people who are invested in crypto, so them pulling the plug on such stablecoins will impact the market. It's probably what we're seeing more or less here, less trades going on. According to a statement, have already been suspended. In addition, users will have to withdraw their funds by October 05, or they will be automatically converted to BUSD, just like Binance did. So they are going to going to more actively use the Binance USD stable coin. They are demanding to withdraw their funds by October 5. What happens when this doesn't occur? Well, the coins will remain on the platform, but users will not be able to access them. It will be taken up into the assets of said exchange. So best to withdraw them and not give them all too much power. Centralized exchanges are the only entry point for governments to leverage the markets. They're only entry point for regulations. The less you have on them, the better. Additional advice: leave only your coins on the exchange when you are trading. If it's for holding and appreciation, just withdraw them towards a cold wallet or a private wallet, period. WazirX goal is to enhance liquidity and capital efficiency. According to WazirX, the delisting of USDC, TUSD, and TUSD seek to enhance liquidity and capital efficiency for users, a claim identical to what Binance made recently when it delisted the same stablecoins. Like Binance ended its statement by indicating that it could conclude other significant stablecoins. However, the exchange did not provide further information in this regard. So WazirX claims, however, crypto censored on Twitter, this exchange had not acquired WazirX due to payment issues to the delisting decision, at least in theory. So WazirX is trying to buddy up to Binance. However, there's no acquisition, etc. going on. So there's a little bit of conflict between both. this is another more important part. Circle Internet Financial's USDC stablecoin is one of the biggest competitors to Binance USD. Binance stablecoin, it currently has a market capitalization. And co-founder of Circle has recently said that the actions taken by Binance were not harmful to USDC. Truth is that other significant investors and projects such as MakerDAO, creator of the DAI stablecoin, are considering delisting USDC. The action against USDC is taking place a few weeks after the US Treasury Department sanctioned cryptocurrency mixer Tornado Cash, causing Circle to automatically block 75,000 USDC belonging to several unsuspecting Tornado Cash users, as reported by the developer Bumtech. So this actually highlights actions taken by Coinbase and Circle. Well, it's actually karma blowing up into their faces and people losing trust with them in said stablecoin. So major other players are simply delisting it, making it unavailable for movements. So this is actually top announcement. If you are on WazirX or on Binance, your funds will be automatically switched towards BUSD. For WazirX, up until October 5th, you can withdraw them or switch them organically. Otherwise, they're going to be switched without notice. Next one. Australian Senator calls for urgent stablecoin and digital yuan regulation. Can't seem to pronounce it. We say yen here in Belgium. If approved, Senator Bragg's bill will put stablecoin issuers and banks that deal with digital yuan with massive scrutiny. So basically, what are they saying? They want more regulations focused on stablecoins. And the major reason for that is highlighted here. Recent speech at the Blockchain Association's forum, Senator Bragg opined it is time for the crypto industry to come out of the shadows into the light. Between brackets, there's a lot to be said about that statement. Outlining the collapse of Terra, he presented a draft bill that will focus mainly on stablecoin issuers. For introducing products to consumers, they will have to receive a special license from Australia's watchdogs. Additionally, such firms will be required to have reserves in local and foreign currency that clients could be reimbursed in case of a crash. Meaning, there's actually some kind of positive development, more or less. Naturally, I'm not all too positive about government interference into the crypto market. However, for once, I can somewhat understand this stance. By reason, there's a lot of quite a few stablecoin projects which exist, but whom have no varied assets backing the stablecoin itself in order to peg it towards the value of $1 or whatever other currency they are using. This can result in tremendous crash with which occurred with Terra Luna. They were, before the Terra Luna crash, a little rehearsal here. They were buying in tremendous amount of Bitcoin. By reason, with the current bear market, they were losing their peg towards the US dollar. So what happens? What can you do? On one side, if you're losing your peg, you can either start burning tokens in order to remove liquidity from the market to make it more scarce and peg it once again towards the value you want it to have, or you start increasing the assets behind it. The latter is the option that Terra Luna instigated. It was automated through use of bots, etc. But the crash occurred that fast, and a tremendous amount of coins were being produced, which caused the depeg, and in the end made the bots sell off the entire crypto holdings the Terra Luna Foundation Guard had in their hands. And about 80K of Bitcoin was thusly dumped onto the markets, and that's actually the dump you can see that occurred here. That's the literal dump of 80K Bitcoin. So yeah, and in order to avoid such other scenarios, by reason a lot of institutional investors and governments have invested in Bitcoin, or are wanting to start option trading it, creating spot ETFs, etc. They want the market to be stable and not be influenced or be as volatile anymore due to such events. So regulations are in hand. Naturally, the Chinese on an economic level are a bit seen as a danger, I'm going to say. So they are also targeting the digital yuan. By reason, it is the very first CBDC to have been launched and be in actual use in the world. So they are vouching for more regulations. Same here, crypto ads should be limited too. This little part of the text mainly talks about representation of cryptocurrency being, I believe it's being held here, giving an impression that they are offering a regulated product when in all actuality they are not. Speaks for itself. However, I'm always in favor of a free market, and I dislike censorship, especially from the top out, meaning they are wanting to play the markets, and this might be a good reason on the surface, but underneath it implies there will be leverage and special occasions whereby other interesting projects will be willfully pushed away. No limelight in marketing. So it's a slippery slope they are playing here. So do watch out. I will always warn people about government interference. Top announcements. 3 possible reasons behind Bitcoin's drop to 3-month low analysis. So 3. On the others, the much anticipated merge, we're simply going to read it, eventually transpired as sell the news type of event. Cryptocurrency suffered fresh declines in the wee hours of Monday morning. Global market cap, yada yada yada. Investors need to brace for more declines. According to CryptoQuant's data, 2 recent signs of indicators have occurred that suggest a strong fall signal of movement of more than 5,000 BTC by the long-term Bitcoin holder, which has continued to hold in its 7-year, could mean a further downtrend in the near term. South Korea-based analytic platform stated, the fact that a long-term holder moved the BTC means that there will be an unusual price movement in the future. Ethereum's dominance may further exacerbate Bitcoin's downward pressure, which has been spiking lately, but it's worth noting that a real increase in the altcoin could come after a strong rise in Bitcoin. Which has been posted on September 19th, and I'm going to say this signal is actually quite worthless. By reason, a movement does not necessarily mean a sell-off. It can be a rearrangement of long-term hold assets. In its 7th year, could mean a further downward trend. Also, long-term holders sometimes are being labeled wrongfully. By reason, some of these articles and some technical analysts say you are a long-term holder if you hold your Bitcoin for more than a year. Myself, I've got multiple wallets, and on some of them there's Bitcoin, which hasn't moved since 2020 or even 2019. It's still in my hand. I still got the keys, but it didn't move. That makes me a long-term holder. Should I start moving them towards a more centralized wallet? Some will speculate that I'm willing to sell my Bitcoin, while in reality, I'm saying, nah, I'm updating my wallets here and I'm regrouping my finances to get a better overview from what I have. This might be such a case. So always remain on guard. Ethereum's dominance may further exacerbate Bitcoin's downward pressure. I'm going to show you guys this. Dominance, Bitcoin 37, Ethereum 16.8. There is no dominance for Ethereum. As a matter of fact, since the merge occurred, it has been in a downward trend. As you guys can see here, even on CoinGecko, last 7 days charts, even steeper than Bitcoin. So there's no real dominance going on. Bitcoin whale activity, recent months, whale activity surged just before Bitcoin's break below the psychological level of 20. In fact, more and more previous dormant coins are being revived. August alone witnessed a reawakening of dormant Bitcoins, which could signal long-term holders joining the selling. Once again, referring towards my previous statement, define long-term holders. Some of them have bought in at the top last year, which is almost a year ago, November. It reached a second all-time high. People since then have been holding. It might be the case they are now just moving their funds and are being seen as long-term holders. So that's not really a good argument about triggering no more pressure on the market. Having said that, this trade answers could also be part of a fund redistribution, just as I mentioned. Probably going to be that part. Miners, on the other hand, are adding to the bearish atmosphere. August recorded the fourth consecutive month to have seen negative miner net flows. Reports suggest that the net outflow last month stood at 21.3 K BTC. Considering macroeconomic events, well, I'm not surprised. People are pressured to sell off their assets in order to pay, well, their energy bills, or forced to take profits currently in order to survive. So the macroeconomic effects are in play here. Good news is, like I said, good period. Anything underneath 20K Bitcoin is a good dollar cost averaging opportunity. Ethereum merge turns into sell the news event as Ethereum price plummets 20% since merge, meaning there is no bullish episode going on. It has become a sell the news event. By reason, well, I'm going to take on TradingView here. Do I have Ethereum? There we go. The merge occurred. Yeah, you can see it's following market trends closely, so it follows Bitcoin. However, becomes interesting if we zoom in September. There we go. Well, towards September, since the end of August, there was some bullish sentiment going on here. Very low since August 29th up until this point here. The merge would be occurring, and then there was a major sell-off. It hasn't recuperated since then, meaning people have been buying the rumor and are now selling it. It remains to be seen, however. The merge was quite recent. I made a prediction in both my free Telegram group as on social media that we might be seeing a correction here, that Ethereum might start trending upwards, as such news such as a merge will always take some time before it settles in the market. Generally, it takes about a week, so we still have this week going on, though I'm not entirely sure if it will go back up, considering current market conditions. That's it where it concerns Ethereum. I've been talking about Terra Luna for a little while. Did in my Blockchain Talks episode an entire report on what occurred, how it went down, what the various factors are, and the internet has been reacting quite negatively that someone like Do Kwon was still freely roaming about, doing his stuff and making a 2.0 scam project, Terra Luna 2.0. And, well, the story is coming to an end. As predicted, when Terra Luna crashed, I made the note that people will go after him. You cannot simply crash a market and make people lose billions in US dollars without any consequence. And naturally, Korean authorities request now Interpol red notice, meaning he is being searched for. He is on the run. So his passport is being revoked to get Interpol to issue a red notice for Kwon. Major reports said on media that he was not that he was cooperating with authorities in several jurisdictions. So it's the entire Terra Luna admin team. And following the collapse of the 40 billion Terra Luna ecosystem, a total of 81 South Korean investors filed complaints against the company and its officials, accusing them of fraud. South Korean court compiled these complaints into 2 cases, and others have apparently violated the country's capital market laws and must participate in the investigations. Coverage noted. And move to Singapore. Claimed that though Kwon. So those were the reports. This is the entire fallout. So Do Kwon is on the run. So hopefully the crash of Terra Luna comes to a nice conclusion, that the community can finally go on, that Lunk might perhaps get a second chance without the fraudulent activities of Do Kwon. I wish that community is still the best, although the fundamentals of Lunk or Luna Classic, as it is being mentioned now, to me are still, shitcoin level. We fiasco 90% price drop, replayers attacks, Justin Sun's Polynex supports rival chain, is a little bit of a variety of updates. So as you guys know, Ethereum merge occurred, and as predicted, the chain forked. Some miners continued to mine Ethereum, and this gave up a split. You have now the Ethereum main chain, which runs on proof of stake. Not going to comment on that one, but you have now another proof of work Ethereum chain called, Ethereum W, which continue the chain from before the merge. However, I've never had, I never really voiced my opinion about what would happen with said chain, or if it were a good idea. In my opinion, said chain isn't a good idea. It should be abandoned as quickly as possible. And, not only because of what you're seeing here, but also by reason the chain from which they forked was littered with software updates and patches destined for transition to proof of stake, meaning that chain they are mining, is littered with mistakes and faults and exploits. And that's exactly what is being mentioned here. So let's read the article a little bit. So in change of heart from Justin Sun-backed crypto exchange has not helped FPOA situation. First day after hard fork, it saw multiple technical bugs as expected, while the native cryptocurrency plummeted by 90% in days' time. As the Ethereum merge was coming to a close, Chandler Guo, popular Chinese miner, proposed a hard fork that will see the creation of Ethereum PoE, duplicate version of the blockchain, to continue to be based on proof of stake. Meaning the old chain before proof of stake. The fork was supposed to take place a day after the merge, and ETH holders would have been entitled to get an airdrop of the same amount of the new token ETHWE. However, multiple users on Twitter started complaining when Ethereum PoE was scheduled to go live that they were unable to open the webpage. As of writing these lines, Crypthusiast also couldn't open it. Also, reports about replay attacks against Ethereum PoE, but security companies like Certic and PeckShield said they are related to incorrect chain ID and the vulnerable. That does not lie with Ethereum PoE, so it's not their mistake. Nevertheless, the hard fork received a lot of support from community members, including famous ones such as Justin Sun. He promised that the crypto exchange he has invested in, Poloniex, will list FW. However, citing market situation consensus of US and community, exchange had a change of heart and decided to go with a rival fork chain, Ethereum Fair ETF, later on. Poloniex even said US had already received the ETF airdrop. Network issues, competitive blockchain, and lack of promised support have all harmed the ETH price performance, yada yada yada. So there was an airdrop promised, but it didn't go through, and Justin Sun, pulled the trigger and said, "You guys can go F yourselves. You're failing to keep up your part of the promise. We're bailing out." That's basically what's being said. More on that, I made a prediction here. As the Ethereum merge approaches, our mine is switching to another PoE blockchains with decent profitability. Raven is a good choice as far as Ethereum goes. Expect a fork and a second Ethereum PoE coin next to ETC being created. The original proof of work Ethereum coin, in my opinion, is still Ethereum Classic. All other forks now having been created after the merge, will probably not be as successful as Ethereum Classic currently is, by reason they forked from a blockchain which was made to transition towards proof of stake. They lost a greater part of the security due to many miners I'm going to highlight this one. Due to many miners switching to other POA blockchains such as Raven, such as Ethereum Classic, meaning that the security and that which held up that chain before the merge have been gone, and that the exploits have become closer, that there's now a heightened chance of said chain to be exploited, to be faced with technical issues, and to fail. However, I wish naturally everyone the best in their endeavors, but I'm not going to speculate on that one. That's something I'm going to stay right clear of. Go for spot BTC ETF grows strong after DeFi launch under Securities Act. So spot Bitcoin ETF funds is going to be launched. There's a prospect of it. Myself, I'll never be in support of spot BTC or Bitcoin ETF funds, etc. Future tradings, by reason it opens the door for over leverage, playing the price, over leveraging, and I wanted to say scam. No, actually comes down to that, but to leverage money out of small-time investors such as myself, money out of their pockets. With over-leveraged trading. So I'm not in favor. However, this can be seen as a somewhat positive signal. And to conclude, Binance EU believes Biden's crypto regulatory framework is good news. Framework for the US will benefit the entire crypto industry. So basically, this is them saying we will comply with US law. I've mentioned it many times before in a variety of other episodes from Blockchain Talks and even other live streams, that I'm not really in favor of government meddling into the crypto markets. Is there a need for regulation? More or less, yes. By reason there's plenty of scams and hypes, but still, if you are inviting a central government or a government to develop a regulatory framework, you are going to start limiting the market and curb innovation. I am not convinced about that one. And Binance has always been one of the first to say, yeah, it's great, by reason they are currently the biggest one and are trying to establish a monopoly. So I'm not in favor, and this is something which needs to be taken into account, being kept an eye on. It wouldn't be long. It wouldn't be long that Binance will do a major F up and will start shooting its own feet. They have been growing tremendously in the last couple of years, to the extent that it became unhealthy and that they are playing the entire market. So do watch out, I'm going to say. With that, I'm going to conclude this episode. Thank all of you for watching. If you like the content I'm putting out, please like, subscribe. You know the drill. Leave a comment down below. You can join up in my free Telegram group if you want daily free lessons. With that, I'm going to say thank you guys for watching, and until next time. Bye.